Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I make this really cute, simple beaded daisy chain bracelet using size 11 and size 8 seed beads. So this is what you'll need. You will need some size 8 seed beads in green, and this is for the leaves in between the flowers. You also need size 8 seed beads in another colour, depending what kind of flowers you're doing. And these sit on the base of the bracelet underneath, so you don't actually see much of them. So just bear that in mind when you pick which colour you want for those. And then you'll also need some size 11 seed beads in as many different colours as you want. This is for the petals of your flowers, so you can do all the same or lots of different colours. And then you'll also need some seed beads in size 11 for the top centre circle of beads in the middle of your flower. So you'll need your thread, which I'm using £6 Fireline, and you also need a clasp of your choice, and your beading needle as well. So let's get started. Okay, so you're going to start by threading your needle, and you need to use as much thread as what you can work with really. It does take quite a lot to make this bracelet. Then you're going to pick up 6 of your yellow size 8 seed beads. I am just going to refer to them in the colours that I'm using just to make it easier to follow. So pick up 6 of those size 8s, and then you're going to sew up through all 6 of those again. So you have this, and then I'm going to sew around them all again until I'm exiting out of the bead that my tail thread is coming out of. And then you should have a little circle of beads like that. So now you're going to work in with the size 11, so you're going to pick up 1 yellow, 1 brown and 1 yellow, size 11. And coming out of this bead here, you're going to go into it in the opposite side from what you're coming out of, and also through the next yellow size 8 in the circle. And when you pull that down, you've got this little group of 4 here. So what we're going to be doing is creating groups of 4 on each of the 6 beads in the original circle. So for the next one, you can see we've already got 2 beads in our group of 4 because we're using this size 11 from the group we just added. So we've got 2, so we just need to pick up 2 more. So you're going to pick up 1 yellow and 1 brown, size 11, and you're going to go down into that yellow bead from the previous group and through the one on the bottom row, through the size 8. So now you have these 2 little groups of 4, and you're going to pass through the next size 8 in the circle. So again, you're going to pick up 1 yellow and 1 brown. So then you're going to go down through those 2 beads, so through the size 11 on the side and through the size 8 on the bottom. And if you can, go through the next size 8 in the circle as well, so that you're ready to add the next beads. So then pick up another yellow and another brown, and again go down through that yellow size 11 on the side and through the size 8 on the bottom, and then through the next size 8 as well, so you're ready to carry on adding beads. Now you've got this, so keep doing that. So you pick up 1 yellow and 1 brown, and you're coming out the size 8, you're going to go down through the yellow size 11 and the size 8 on the bottom. And then this is the last bead of the circle, so it's already got 3 beads in its group of 4. It's got 1, 2, 3, so we just need the 1 brown bead on the top. So you need to move your thread through the size 8 and up into that size 11. And it might start to bunch up when you pull that tight, so then pick up your one brown bead, and coming out of the size 11 on this side, you're going to go down through the one on the other side and pull that through. So now you've got this. So now you're going to go through the size 8 on the bottom, the size 11 on the side, and up into the brown bead that you just added. Give it a good pull tight and you've got this. So now you need to sew through all of those 6 brown beads that are on the top to bring them all together. Like that, so that's one of our little flower units finished. So as you can see, that's what one little unit looks like on its own. So now you need to figure out where your tail thread's coming out of on the bottom, because you want to be working opposite that so that it's easy to work with. So my tail thread's coming out of this bead here. So to carry on adding more, I need to get my working thread exiting out of that bead directly opposite it in that bottom circle. So I just need to move my thread through a few more of those brown beads on the top. And then down through one of the yellow size 11s on the side, and through that yellow size 8 that's opposite the one my working tail thread's coming out of, sorry. So now you're ready to add some more beads. So before I show you how to carry on with this daisy chain bracelet, I just wanted to show you this other one that I've made using the same technique, but instead of putting the leaves between, I've gone straight into adding another flower. So it is possible to do that without the leaves in between, if that's the kind of look you were going for. But I'm going to show you how I do it with those leaves in between. So the next thing you need to do is pick up one green size 8, one yellow size 8 and one green. And you're going to go into that bead that you're coming out of, but in the opposite direction, or the opposite side. So you've got this, and you're going to sew through the green one and the yellow one. So now you're ready to add your next flower. So you're going to pick up 5 of your size 8s in yellow this time, because you've already got your 6th bead in the circle there. You're going to go down through that one to make your little circle of 6. Now it's really important that once you've got this, you sew through all those beads again before you start adding your size 11s. If you don't sew through them all again, it's really loose and you'll probably end up with like a loosey-goosey bracelet. It's really hard to tighten it back up afterwards. So I've sewed through them all again and sewed round a bit so that I'm exiting out the opposite side. And now we're just going to do the same thing we did on the first one. So I'm going to show you again. So you're going to pick up one yellow size 11, one brown and one yellow, and go into that bead you're coming out of on the opposite side, and also through the next size 8 in the circle, and pull that down. So you've got your first group of 4 there. So now you need to add 2 beads. So you're going to pick up one yellow and one brown, and you're going to go down into that yellow size 11 and through the yellow size 8 that you're coming out of. And again, if you can, all at once, go through the next size 8 in the circle as well, like that, so you're ready to add some more beads. So then again, pick up one yellow, one brown, Go down into that yellow size 11 and through the size 8. Make sure your loop lands on the top and doesn't get tangled underneath. And then you pass through that size 8 that's next in the circle. Then again pick up one yellow and one brown. Go down through that yellow one on the side and also through the one you're coming out of, like that. Again, make sure your loop lands on the top and not underneath. And then pass through the next size 8 in the circle. It can be a bit more awkward, and again pick up your 2 beads and go through the yellow size 11 and the yellow size 8 on the bottom. Yeah, it can be a bit more awkward this time because it's attached to the rest of the bracelet and that gets in the way sometimes, but you get used to it. So now you're on the last one, so you've already got the 3 beads, so you need to pass through the size 8 on the bottom and up through that size 11. Then pick up your last brown bead of the circle. As you're coming out of this one, so you're going to go down into the one on the other side. So you have this, and then you can pass through the size 8, the size 11 on the side, and the brown one on the top. And you can see the difference that sewing through all those brown beads makes. So you're going to sew through all of those to bring them all together. And keep sewing round through them until you're exiting out of the opposite side so that you're ready to add some more beads. So you're exiting out of that side. Make sure your bracelet stays in a nice straight line. So I'm exiting out of that side so I can have a look on the bottom again and make sure you're going through the right yellow bead on the bottom to keep your bracelet nice and straight. So I need to be exiting out of that one there. So I'm going to go down through the size 11 on the side and through that one that I need to come out of on the bottom. So that's what it looks like. So then you need to pick up your green size 8, your yellow and your green, and go through the bead you're coming out of on the other side, and then through the first 2, the green and the yellow again. So now you're ready to add another unit. So that's basically the technique, and you carry on doing that all the way along. And I'm going to do one more, but I'm just going to kind of speed it up a lot as I do it. So if you need to go back and watch again in more detail, obviously it's the same technique, so you can go back and watch it as many times as you need to keep making the little units. So I'm just speeding through this one. So I've added my 5 yellow size 8s and sewed through them again to make them secure. And then I'm going to start adding my size 11s, so pick up 3 for the first one, go through the next 2 size 8s, then pick up 2, go down through the size 11 and the next 2 size 8s, and carry on doing that till you get to the last one in the circle. And make sure that your loop lands on top of your work and not on the bottom. Also, apologies if you can hear my budgie, Jeff, who's being very loud in the background. I never noticed that we've got him until I listen to these recordings back and I can hear it really loud. So used to it now. So I've added all those beads, so now I just need to sew through the brown ones again to make them into a neat circle. and then position my thread on the bottom so that I'm exiting out of the right bead in order to carry on adding more. So then once you've mastered the technique, and you just need to carry on going until you've got the length that you need for your bracelet. So I've gone ahead and done this, and it does take some time, it's quite a time consuming stitch. So now we're ready to add our clasp. So I'm exiting out of the size 8 on the bottom, ready to add more beads. And to add my clasp, I'm going to pick up 2 more of the size 8s. I do it in the base colour, you could do it in the leaf colour if you wanted. And I'm going to actually slide those down and then pick up your clasp, and if it's this kind of lobster clasp, you need to be really careful and make sure you thread it on your needle the right way so that your bracelet sits the right way up when you wear it, because it's not a double-sided bracelet. Just be aware of that when you're adding your clasp. And then once you've added that, you need to add 2 more size 8s. So 2 size 8s your clasp and 2 more size 8s, and then you're going to go through that bead that you're coming out of to make them into a loop. Like that. And just double check before you tie your knots that you've got your clasp sitting the right way up. And then sew through them all again as many times as you want to make them really secure. And then you can go ahead and, if you've got enough thread on your tail thread, you can cut this thread off now. So I'll just show you how I tie my knots on this bracelet. So I've got my thread coming out between 2 beads here, as you can see. So I'm going to take my needle and thread it under all those threads there, if that makes sense, and pull it down until I've got a small loop, smallish loop, and take my needle through the loop 2 times and pull it down, and the knot will just close around all those threads. And then move your needle on and go ahead and tie as many more knots as you like, as many as you can to make it more secure. And always remember to move your needle away from your knot before you cut your thread. So I've done that end, and now I'm going to thread my tail thread with the needle and do the same with the other half of my clasp. So just make sure that you're exiting out of that bead that's in the right place. Then pick up 2 size 8s, the other half of your clasp and your last 2 size 8s, and go back through that one that you're coming out of, and then go through that a few times until it feels really secure, until you've run out of thread. And then just go ahead and tie your knots the same way that we did on the other end. And that's us finished. So that's what the bracelet looks like when it's finished, and I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I hope you were able to make one of these, and please like this video and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and comment down below anything else you'd like to see on this channel. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah. I'd love to see if you make one of these bracelets, what kind of colour combinations and variations you do. So follow me over there and tag me if you do make one. So this one that I did, I was going for like poppies, kind of different shades of red and pink, and then obviously today I did sunflowers and then multicoloured daisies before. And I did forget to mention earlier that you can do this with size 6 beads for the base and size 8 on the top of the flowers. That would work if you wanted a bit of a chunkier bracelet. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and again, please share any that you make with me over on Instagram at Beading by Hannah. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.